Truly opinionated. Truly opinionated.
Truly opinionated. We do it for the culture. A group of
Yo, welcome to the Top Podcast, where there's a lot of truth, just as many opinions. I'm your host with the most, IV, aka Sweet Brother Noomsy. Please say the Noomsy. And you know it's a whole lot of gang shit going on tonight. Who we got here?
What's good, Josh? Your girl Crown Vic.
What it do, baby? It's your boy Just Doug in the building.
What's going on, y'all? It's Love J Meek.
And it's your boy D Carey, aka Carry These Nuts, aka I'm dope as fuck.
We on one tonight.
And we are truly opinionated people. Thanks for tuning in. Episode 3. We got a special episode for y'all. So I think I want to start off with this whole Gucci Man Breakfast Club debacle. So if you aren't familiar with what's going on with the Gucci Man and Breakfast Club, let's backtrack a little bit. Gucci Man had an interview with them, I think it was maybe 2 years ago. This was like around the time he had came home. It was the rumor going out that he had a clone and all that. He went up to Breakfast Club, did an interview, great interview. But at some point in the interview, it was a back and forth between him and Angela Yee. Gucci Man, so famously, you remember that time in the hotel when you was trying to get on you was all on my dick. That's what he said.
You did text me and say
you did text me. Angela Yee denied it. It was like, no. I think, he was referring to an interview, what's her show? Lip Service?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like from years ago.
2010.
And if you actually look up the footage, you can see that she definitely was like flirting with Gooch. Like it was like she was.
I don't agree either.
She was not flirting with Gucci.
It looked like she was flirting to me, but
and that's the wrong show. It wasn't Lip Service. It was on Shade 45. It was called The Morning
She had
After.
a different. Okay, this was like before Breakfast Club. Breakfast Club wasn't even a thing yet. But fast forward, Gucci Man to now. Fast forward, Gucci Man said he was banned behind that. DJ Envy and Angela Yee said that he's not banned, but somewhere there's some type of miscommunication. Gucci Man just recently did a one-on-one interview with Charlamagne the God, and he addressed it on there, and he said a whole lot of crazy stuff about DJ Envy and Angela Yee. What'd he say?
He's a pussy.
That's what he said?
DJ Envy is a pussy.
I'ma see him.
He said he gonna see him
face to face.
Wow.
Bring that dog.
Oh, yeah, he did say that. Bring that dog that you always talk about. And DJ Envy responded with a post with his dog. He said, it's just me and my dog.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I ain't even catch that way.
I didn't even get Envy's response though. Like he wasn't directly responding to Gucci. Like he said, he took the picture with the dog. He was in France, and he was just like, it was like, I don't know. It didn't seem like he was directly responding to him.
But wait, I thought he posted something and was like, I never got slapped before in my life.
He did.
Yeah,
that was the same post.
That was the same post. Oh, wow.
Yeah, because Gucci said he was gonna slap him when he see him, and
he didn't got slapped.
And I think he put in there to
he
love
said
with
he got
that.
slapped before.
I would have to look at the post again.
Oh.
What y'all think? Was Gucci Man really banned, or you think he kind of like took that and ran with it? And why would he be banned behind that?
I don't think he was banned.
Yeah.
But you could just not book him for a show or, ask him to come on. I don't think.
I think it was something maybe behind the scenes.
But behind the scenes,
they probably was like, we don't.
They're like,
want him
oh no,
up here
we can't have you up here on the show.
Well, I don't know, because I know the episode when they were talking about it, Angela Yee was like, he's not banned. DJ Envy said he's not banned. She was like, if anything, come up here and apologize, because you try to, you said some out the way shit, you know what I'm saying, towards her.
Yeah.
And she was like, you can still come up here, just come up here and apologize, because you put all this stuff out publicly, so come up here and apologize publicly. But
yeah, Gucci Man, he said the
And
hell with
he
it,
didn't
apology.
feel like he had anything.
he don't
to
feel
apologize
like he
for.
did nothing. Which
He didn't feel like he did anything
what
wrong.
was that, 2010? So
I don't even. I mean, can
think.
we go back to that interview? Okay, the way it really played out was kind of like, I feel like Gucci initiated that more than she did.
You talking about the original interview?
The original interview when
to?
she said, you lost your wallet, and he was like, yeah, and she was like, you ain't feel nobody going your wallet, and he was like, no, and she was like, I just took something.
Me. That's what it looked like.
But he said, she said, I just took something, you ain't know it, and he was like, you can take it. Can you take it?
Yeah,
That was his
so he
initial
initiated
I
comment.
mean, he did kind of.
But I mean, I feel like even if
But
she
you
was
always
flirting,
talk about sex
even
and
if she
dicks
was
and
right,
all
that's
types of
what I was
stuff.
about
I
to
mean,
say.
that's
Like,
true.
I didn't take it as she was flirting with him because I've seen all of her lip service interviews, and when anybody comes on the show and talks that big freak shit, Angela
with it.
Yee is
She
like,
with the shit.
okay,
She with
Yeah, she's definitely with it.
and she does it in such a like nonchalant kind of tone. So you really never know if she's flirting with you or if she's just
Yeah.
talking. I just think that's just how she is.
Right. And the
Yeah.
only thing she said was, you know what they say about Asian women? And he was like, fat pussy. And she was like, oh,
No.
I was going to say deep. And she moved on.
And she talks just
Mm.
like
and
that
he
on lip
said,
service.
He said, why you tell another man your pussy deep for?
Yeah, you kind of
Y'all
brought
were
it up,
both
though.
conversing.
Yeah,
Like,
he-
I don't-
he
it was a
overhyped
reach
that.
to me. It was a reach.
It was a reach.
Yeah.
But that's the old Gucci. So he's probably on lean.
Yeah, he definitely-
probably, you know what I'm saying.
The old Gucci showed up in that
Yeah,
Charlotte.
yeah,
video.
yeah. He ain't no
sure
clone.
did. It
When
came
he
out.
said he was ready to
He ain't no
slap him, I
clone.
said, "Oh, we going back to 09." Nigga, Gucci is not playing games.
My man, but really though, shout out to Gucci. That was Woptober 2, his 101 project.
I
We
haven't
gotta
heard it all
give
the way
him
yet.
props for that.
I haven't heard it all the way.
I ain't heard it.
good
It's a
things.
decent
But
project.
It
it's-
is. It
it's
really
decent.
is.
And his interview
Yeah.
was really good. It showed a lot of
Yeah.
growth on his part.
Yeah,
I like that-
the whole interview.
I like
was
that he
good.
gave a credit to his wife for pretty much
I love that.
Yeah,
like
holding him
Sticking
down.
by
And
him.
that's-
dealing with his bullshit and being there when he was
that was dope.
up.
that's also part of the beef he got with them too, because they brung his wife up.
The prenuptial.
No, at the
agreement.
Breakfast Club, they was talking about on the the Breakfast Club court or whatever they do, and they said they had brung it up about her past relationship with Gotti,
Mm.
Oh, okay.
I didn't
and
hear
that's
that.
what he
So
was.
that's
That's what he was
he's
hot
mad
about.
Okay.
And that's why that came up in the interview. He was like, "Yo, y'all speaking on my wife." You know what I'm saying?
It was both Angela and DJ, or was it just DJ Envy?
It was Envy and Angela Yee. Charlamagne
Okay.
wasn't there
Okay.
that day.
Yeah, because
So-
like Gotti's supposed
The
to be his
Gucci?
man's. So
Yeah.
why would you mess with your man's girl? Now you done married her. Like,
Yeah,
Mm.
but him and Gotti don't even. I don't think they rock no more behind.
Mm-mm.
By some other stuff, but they don't rock. But who's right or who's wrong in that situation? Like Breakfast Club, Gucci Man. Should Gucci Man be banned at this point after the Charlamagne interview, or should he just go ahead and apologize?
Now that he blankly called DJ Envy a pussy,
Yeah,
I mean,
you put it
how
on
are
another
you
level
gonna?
now.
If he comes on the show, it's gonna be confrontation.
And he called Yee a B. He called.
He
her-
did. He was
yeah.
like that pussy ass bitch. Ooh, it was. Yeah,
And I mean, you
I don't
threatened
see
him.
that. I don't see that being good. I don't see him. He would have to initially. He would have to apologize for saying that
Yeah,
before
now.
they okay, no issues when you come on a show.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, they've banned some people. I think K. Michelle is banned. It's a couple of others
Wait,
that
She's
she's been
banned. She was just on the Breakfast Club recently, I feel.
Nah, she
No, it
was
was
banned
that
behind
Hollywood Unlocked.
she was banned behind a dispute between her and Angela Yee.
Wow.
Like Angela Yee had said, she didn't say anything directly, but it was a rumor going on around her about her, and she was Angela Yee was kind of like feeding into it and kind of throwing more gas on the fire. And K. Michelle, the last time she was on there, she confronted Angela Yee about it, and she ain't been on there since. So
Mhm.
I do think it's a possibility you can get banned from that show. I do think that they kind of be on that type of stuff, but it's trippy to me because Breakfast Club be talking a whole lot of stuff. So I feel like if you gonna dish it, then
Take it.
you got to be
Yeah.
able to take.
'Cause I don't think
don't be quick
Gucci
to
not-
ban nobody.
He not mad about the initial interview that they had in the room.
Yeah,
He
I
more
think it's
mad
the-
about them talking about his wife.
That's what I think.
Okay,
Yeah,
and
for
I think
sure.
that's what he said in the interview with Charlamagne.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Is where the disrespect.
Yeah.
And then
came in
I
on
read
his
somebody
phone.
said that like Charlamagne is disloyal because
Yeah,
why
I
would you
read
take the
that.
interview knowing? But I mean, Charlamagne got his own brand outside of the
Mhm.
Breakfast Club too. He do one-on-one interviews, so I don't really think that coincides, or you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like it just
I
happened
don't
to come
think
up.
they even acknowledged it because that aired
Shit,
last week, and
Yeah.
they've had several shows
they
and
ain't
they
say
haven't
nothing
even
about
mentioned it. They're not even.
I don't think he
about it.
banned. So
Yeah.
if all three members say he's not banned,
He's
he
not
ain't
banned.
banned. Bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
But
might
if he's
see.
coming, if he's saying when he see him, I'm gonna see him. I'm gonna see
Yeah,
him. Of course, you're not gonna be invited on the show if you're gonna cause an issue.
Yeah, because
So-
Gucci's he's really so some rappers I believe when they say they're gonna
When
do
they-
something,
yeah.
he's
He's
one
one
of
of
them.
them.
He's one
Mhm.
of them.
Oh,
Absolutely.
come on. Let's not even talk about the murder case.
Right.
He said that he needed.
Yeah.
that. I
Right,
was
yeah.
like,
He had no
okay.
remorse.
Well, yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Did y'all see Red Table Talk? The
I
Jada Pinkett.
did.
Uh,
Mhm, mhm.
She was talking about transracial adoption.
Right, adoption.
Mhm.
So for those of you who don't know, Red Table Talk is a talk show that airs exclusively on Facebook. And the interviews are hosted by Jada Pinkett Smith, her daughter Willow Smith, and then Jada's mother, affectionately known as Gammy. So Monday's episode covered transracial adoption with featured guest Angela Tucker, who is a black woman who was adopted by white parents. So just a little bit of backstory on Angela Tucker. She was adopted at birth. She was born with cerebral palsy, and her birth mother, Deborah Johnson, gave her up, for adoption, and her adoptive parents are white. So what did y'all think about that? Did y'all get a chance to watch it?
I seen a couple of clips. I didn't see the full thing.
Yeah, I seen clips too. Of course, I mean it's great that they wanted to bring them into a loving home and provide everything that she needed. My whole thing is like it's hard because it's only so much you can teach a black woman about black people if you haven't gone through it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking to me, would that be something like a culture shock as far as just the
Well, yeah, and
different
she
cultures and just the upbringing
And she mentioned that. And so one of the things that Angela does is she counsels other adoptees who are in a transracial living situation. But it was, throughout the interview, it was very insightful. And there were some things that were, in my opinion, cringeworthy. She mentioned that when she's around black people, and more specifically her family, she has a fear. Whereas, she feels comfortable in white and safe. She used the word safe in white spaces. And that was just a little bit like cringeworthy for me, because I feel like, just like Gammy expressed, how can you counsel other adoptees on transracial living situations and how to be comfortable in navigating through that space when you clearly have an issue with your own blackness?
Exactly.
Mhm. And that whole interview, that's what I got from that. That was her issue, her being uncomfortable and her trying to find herself. It was, I don't know, it was so much more of her issue that it didn't really shine much light to me on interracial adoption.
I
You know,
agree.
it was so much of
it was like solely
that was
about her story.
It was solely about her story. And even her parents, her adoptive parents, when they came on, Jada asked them, so what was your thought when you saw this black child? And, they were like, well, we didn't even see her as a black child. We saw her as a child in need, and
So where did she get she's afraid of people that look like her? Where did
she
she
just
get
said
that
she's
from?
not comfortable because she can't connect with black culture.
Because
So
all she had
she's-
was the white culture.
So,
Right.
so to Victoria's point, like what she was just saying, they didn't see, oftentimes we hear people say, I don't see color. And I call bullshit on that, because you have to see color. And I think where they may have, not being judgmental, but where they may have dropped the ball was, yeah, you may not have initially seen color when you adopted her. You saw that she had cerebral palsy. She needed a loving home. But it was also your responsibility, I feel personally, to inject her in her culture and make sure that she had some type of connection to that, because you can clearly tell she's uncomfortable with who she is, and she's actually okay with being the token black person, in her predominantly white university that she says she went to and in other white spaces.
It was very interesting.
I don't know. I can't agree with that, because when you are, if you are putting yourself out there to be a parent and you're willing to adopt a child, and you're not adopting because you can't have kids or something like that. You're just, they said they saw her in a magazine in Tennessee. And,
That was
I
that
don't.
word choice threw me off.
They saw her in a magazine.
Yeah, they said they saw her in a magazine in Tennessee. So it could have been to me. I don't know if it was like
Like that one.
adoption.
That's how I took it when they said it. I was like, that one.
Like, we're not shopping at Macy's.
Like, but they saw her disability more than they saw her race. And then when I think about it, if I was to go and adopt a child, I'm not thinking, back then, how old was Angela?
I'm not sure.
Okay, back then, when this whole, racial thing wasn't really going on. I mean, it's been going on, but it wasn't as heavy as it is now. I wouldn't even, I'm adopting this child, but I don't see myself even thinking of, oh my God, this is a Chinese child. Oh my Jesus, I gotta put him in a Chinese program, or I gotta teach him his culture. Like, if I don't even know that culture, How do I
Yeah,
put
yeah.
that child in there? And I don't even know it.
So
I don't
that-
know anything about
So
it.
that
you
goes to the
shoulda-
question that a lot of people have. Is transracial adoption something that should happen? Because if you don't know the culture and you don't have any interest of
I guess-
giving,
Why even
immersing
do that?
yourself in the culture, then why adopt a child of a culture that you are not going to try to connect with in any way, shape, or form?
Yeah.
I think one of the things
It can
that
be
they-
confusing.
It could be confusing. Absolutely.
I see that.
Mhm.
I think it may be, we go, I don't know. I think it may be something that maybe if it was it brought awareness to it. Maybe if these agencies, these adoptive agencies, these foster care agencies, if they could implement like a equality and diversity department so that they know that, okay, we have a Black child and a white family wants to adopt her, he or she. Okay, well, let us offer some sort of resources or at least inform them, hey, they're signing dozens of papers. So maybe it should be something included in there like, hey, we're big on equality and diversity and we want our children to, be their culture, be more connected to their culture. I feel like maybe if some more resources were available, but I don't see people thinking about it. They don't even know nothing about that.
Right.
I just hope they do it for the right reason, man. Like,
Exactly.
Don't be like, oh, this little Black kid. I'm
White
like,
saviorism.
yeah, like, bro, just do it for the right
Shouldn't be like a
reason.
charity
And I didn't
case or
get that
anything
from
like that.
her.
I didn't get that from her adoptive parents,
Yeah.
but
Right.
again, like some of the comments that they made as far as, because I think one of the questions that I don't remember if it was Gammy or Jada asked was, what about the hair?
Yeah, like
And
how you do the hair.
how to do the hair. And she said, well, I just kind of, when people come over, they might just touch it and play
She did
in
say
her
that
hair.
was
And
a
I just,
issue.
But that's like a pet.
I hate to say it, but
Know
I
what I'm
kind of
saying?
had this image of, a petting zoo type
Yeah.
of scenario.
Yeah,
And I'm
playing
just
her
like-
hair, like what?
Okay, but
Because you got to think, like, all right, when your kids go to school, would you let, somebody from the other race be like, hey, I like your hair, and start just touching her hair and stuff? Like, me personally, I'm like, nah, bro. Like,
That's
don't
up to my
touch her hair.
child, though. If my child is okay with it, then I can't really,
But you have to, so you wouldn't explain to her, like,
well, what do you mean? Because I think
I'm talking
Black,
about, like,
white, or indifferent. I feel like you should keep your hands
oh,
to
I just
yourself,
like your,
period.
Yeah, keep your hands to yourself. I'm not talking about like, oh, I like your hair. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me look at it type of deal. But like how she was saying, they was petting it, like, because
Are
your
fascinating.
hair and a white woman's hair is very different.
She admitted that, though. She said they were fascinated by it because they had never seen hair like that. Okay? Of course, they're kids. They see things. My child wears beads in her hair.
Mhm.
There may be not even a white child, but a Hispanic child who, I like your hair. And she
Mhm.
might touch it 'cause they're beads. It looks like toys. But the mother specifically said that they were fascinated by it because they never seen hair like that. So I'm thinking they're saying the kinky curly. And they're like, oh, wow. And then she went on to say she hated her hair. She wanted slick, hair flowing in the wind, blah, blah, blah. I don't think she said it like that.
But was that because her family that
Mhm.
adopted
She
her?
said that.
So-
That's what
okay.
she said. That's what she saw. Her sister had that type of hair.
And then I think another thing too, her adoptive mother did say that she felt a little uncomfortable with, in the beginning, Angela wanting to know who her birth mother was, because she felt as though if she did connect with her birth mother, that she would come in and feel more connected to essentially her roots, where she came
She
from.
need to know that.
So
see,
that,
that's-
while I think their intentions may have been good,
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't really, especially if the birth mother wants to have a relationship. That's something that they shouldn't stand in the way of. I don't know why this discussion made me revert. My mind just packed. It reverted back to, y'all seen the movie Losing Isaiah before?
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't
No,
know
I never
why.
seen
It just made me
It did
think
kinda
about
think
that.
about
It's
that
kind of
a little
like,
bit.
you know what I'm saying? It's similar. I don't know if the birth mother was on drugs or crack, anything like that. But just the whole story
She
of
was homeless.
yeah, she was
Mhm.
homeless and but she had a drug problem. But she lost Isaiah and a white family took him in.
Mhm.
That movie's years old, but yes, when y'all were talking, I'm sorry, it just made me think.
But when you think
about
back
that?
to that movie, it showed you both sides. And
Yeah,
the
because
white
she
family
ultimately
didn't even think about his race.
no, not at all. And she
Yeah, at
ultimately
all.
ended up getting herself clean and took that family to court, and it was a battle. So that's why I say it could be a lot. It could be detrimental to the child, especially if they're real young. It can be confusing, but You know, it's
As long as your heart is in the right place.
yeah. As long as the
Please.
adoptee or the adopter, excuse me, is genuine with it, you know, I don't really see the issue. But I definitely think it's important that child should know their roots and know about their culture and their heritage. You know, it shouldn't be something that they have no access to or don't know. So, but yeah, I thought that was interesting.
I agree.
Meghan Markle was in the news recently. She was complaining. Was she complaining? She was complaining. I don't want to say complaining. Let's not say complaining. Let's not say complaining. She made a point to say that the new lifestyle change with her being, what's her title?
She's a newlywed.
A newlywed.
Mom.
But what's her title though? Because she's married to
The Duchess.
the Duchess.
Yeah.
Thank you. She's married to Prince
Harry.
Prince Harry. First black Duchess.
Mhm.
Too. She just said that it's a lifestyle change for her as far as getting used to the paparazzi and all the things that come with being famous. I seen like a half and half type of split with this. Some people were like, "Oh, I feel for her. I understand where she's coming from." Other people was like, "Yo, you complaining, B."
Oh my
Like,
God,
I
I
seen
did
the
not know
you should have
that.
known
Said that she
because
was
I mean, I guess
complaining.
I think Wendy Williams had spoke about it on her show. Lord, Wendy Williams. Yeah, that's a
She
whole
don't
nother
even
topic.
say
A
How you
truly
doing?
opinionated person.
Wednesday.
She's very opinionated, Lord. But she just said that, yeah, basically she was complaining. Like she knows she should have known what come with the lifestyle when she decided to marry Prince Harry. What is y'all take on this? Like, as far as, is she making it a bigger deal than what it should be? Like,
She's a new mom. And I think, and I don't want to speak for her,
mhm.
but being a new mom, that's a lot. It can be a lot for a lot of women. I know me personally, it was a lot. So I don't think that she's complaining, but I think she's frankly dealing with a lot.
Think she got postpartum?
I mean, we want to say that.
Possibility.
I don't want to
But
put it on her
It's
because that is serious.
It could be. But you know, if you look at that interview, Meghan thanked that reporter for asking her how she felt. She said, because no one, as a new
Asked
mom, no
her.
one has asked me how
Just
I
put a
am.
camera in her face.
Right. They just put a camera in her face. And
Yeah.
this girl, okay, the transition was crazy because we hadn't heard anything from Meghan Markle until, oh man, she's marrying Prince Harry. So she jumped from whatever lifestyle she was living, not sure, right into being the Duchess, you know? And if you have never done something before, of course it's going to be hard. Of course. And then she's got a hell of a lot on her. She's got a reputation to uphold now. And she's in the limelight. And now she's even a victim of the tabloids. Like, they're spreading lies about her. And she's like, hold on, wait a minute. I just got married. I got a new baby. What's going on? You know, so I don't, the people saying that she's complaining, that's just absurd to me. Like, she just finally, someone asked her, how are you? And she said, it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
It can probably be a lot. I know Prince Harry, he spoke up for her. Like,
That's
his
why I was
wife.
ready to ask
Like,
you.
Yeah,
Say
that was
that.
dope.
Y'all need
Yeah,
to,
that was nice.
calm down, chill out. And I think they're doing like some legal
I think they're suing
things.
them.
Yeah,
They're suing
so,
the British tabloid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And there's been talks of them maybe, I think, going to Canada or something for some time just so she
Just
can
to
get
get
away.
away.
Just to get
Yeah.
away and get a break.
That's cool.
That would be good. I think that just
I
to get
agree.
away, get a vacation.
Probably
Mhm.
for her mental too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? Because it's like you in the limelight because you married this man that you fell in love with. Like,
Right.
I mean, I know some people be like, well, you know who he was. Like, man, look, she fell in love with this dude. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So,
Right.
and it's not fair because I think it's more limelight on her now because her race. Like, to me, I think
Definitely.
that's what more of
Yeah.
it is like.
The
oh,
fact that she's a
let's
black
kick this-
Duchess. Yeah.
like, oh, so we're gonna be, as soon as you open the door, we're taking pictures.
It's
We're writing
definitely
stories,
amplified,
we're
but
doing
it's-
everything.
it's-
So
It's not uncommon because, you know, they're kind of likening it to the late Diana Ross.
yeah,
Diana Ross.
the queen,
Queen Diana.
Queen Diana.
Princess
Princess Diana.
I'm like
Wow.
trying to back. Wait, what is her last name?
I'm so sorry, y'all. Princess Diana, y'all knew what I meant.
Princess Diana.
Yeah.
Oh,
Diana
that
came
was
out.
cool.
Not Diana
Naturally,
Ross.
Ross comes right after that.
Not Motown, not the Supremes.
Princess Diana.
Princess
y'all know what that
Diana.
means.
Princess Di. Lord,
Oh my goodness.
Princess Diana.
that's crazy. But yeah, paparazzi, my bad.
No, go ahead.
They definitely they be taking it too far.
Mhm.
Not just in this particular case, but just in general. Like you see the videos with TMZ and how they
Mhm.
be all on people's cars and trying to get pictures
And get
Yeah,
offended
like,
with
remember
all in
these
the
people,
lawn and-
they're
get upset.
human beings, bro.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
just chill out.
Right.
4
You gonna
o'clock,
get your
5
pictures?
o'clock in the morning outside
Like,
their
Yeah,
what
house.
are
man,
you
that shit
doing?
crazy,
Why are you up at
Like,
this
why
hour?
are you not asleep?
Looking,
Like, what-
lurking.
That shit
You
crazy.
doing?
It's crazy. But what was your point, Vic? What you was ready?
Yeah. I think I was just gonna say, oh no, I was bringing it back to Princess Diana because we were kind of going down that route, and I was gonna say, yo, do y'all remember around that time when she was killed?
Yeah.
Like, man, I was just bringing that up
I
because I remember
vaguely-
that as a
yeah, I
child.
vaguely
remember seeing
remember
her
that.
all
I-
over
I don't
the
remember.
magazines.
Doug, I don't think-
Princess
Doug, you might
Diana.
have just been
Yeah,
a couple
I
of
was
years
born.
born.
3 years
Yeah.
old.
Yeah, because we were
Where
the
you
same
was
age as Harry and when she died.
Where you was taught.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Like I
yeah.
just was bringing because we went down that road.
Yeah, I think Michael Jackson, the Dirty Diana song was about her.
No.
No, I
thought it was about Diana Ross.
No, he said he wrote that joint about Princess Di.
So she was a freak.
Hey, who knows? Who knows? But I heard she had a thing for the brothers though.
I'm not in this.
But Prince Harry got a little
God
in
rest
him
his
too.
soul.
Yo, he be
Yeah,
at
like the sister.
I mean, obviously he got the
giving
sister.
him
You know what I'm saying?
back.
I ain't mad at him.
That's crazy.
Prince Harry got a little soul
like it, I
in his
love it.
blood.
Right. So this past Tuesday, there's a story that developed about Creighton Court, the Richmond Housing Development Authority. Hope I said that right. They are basically the tenants or the people that live in Creighton Court. It was like 52 people facing eviction.
Mhm.
Now, I don't know if you've been following this story, if you read it. They've been talking about redeveloping Creighton Court, and I think a lot of the different courts and projects in the city for a while. But I think they're really going hard with it now. And the crazy part about it is, the notice. I think they did let tenants know in advance, but the way they're going about it, it's like they're trying to evict people. I think that's like the approach is illegal from what I read. And they raising rent to like $875. It's a touching story because, like I said, I know people that still over there. I know people that still live in these, in these
Housing project.
housing projects. Thank you. I'm all for redevelopment, but I don't think people should be kicked out of their community or where they're from. And I think they're trying. My ultimate thing today, I think that they're trying to gentrify, where they trying to tear down all these projects. I think and make one. I don't know if it's going to be a housing project or what, but combine all of them together, but have them mixed with. Because I mean, if you go over Church Hill now, it's nothing like how it used to be.
Completely
Right.
different.
It's totally different.
Yeah.
I don't not change, but at the same time, you can't get rid of the people that's been in that community for years.
You think? Do you think they were notified?
Yes.
I do think they were notified. I just don't. I don't think that it was much notice, as far as they like when they notified them. They was like, "This is going down." Like, it's nothing you can. It was no preparation. They had no time to really get
What's
it
your
together
thoughts on
or
it,
see.
I can see both sides. Like for real.
Y'all.
Please,
Go ahead,
tell me
Vic.
that.
Go ahead.
That's why I was like, "What?"
Okay,
ahead,
well,
Vic.
from what I read, this is some bull. Okay. Number one,
People are outraged behind
they
it.
are. They're very much outraged.
Yeah.
But there was 52 unlawful detainers filed.
Yeah,
I believe that was Tuesday morning.
right.
35 of them got judgments. 17 of them were they're working with them because they caught up on their rent.
Exactly.
Okay. Y'all, they were given a 90-day notice. They're unlawful detainer is when you are on the premises of a property that you are not paying for.
Mhm.
You have been notified they had 90 days.
Hey,
And
3
then
months.
Yeah, 3 months. And
Okay.
And your rent is how
your
much?
rent is. There was a attorney with legal aid that one of the residents, I guess, had recruited or whatever. Because you can pay legal aid like $15 a year and you can get legal advice.
Yeah,
Anyway,
right.
he was saying that some of them, he spoke on the judge, doing 35 judgments, but the other 17, agreement that because they had caught up. Some of them rent was as low as $50. As low as $50, and they won't pay the rent. Now, I understand they're saying this suspicion about, because Creighton Court reportedly has been under redevelopment since 2017, and they are said to have a deadline by 2020. We coming up on 2020. So I can see the suspicion. It's a little off.
Right.
But if you not paying your rent just like anybody else out here,
They will kick
you're
your ass
getting
out.
evicted. So do not complain. And then to get back to people you want the government to help you so
with
bad,
everything,
but you're not willing to help yourself. This is supposed to be temporary, number one.
Exactly.
So don't be out here. Oh, we ain't got no place to stay. But how long did you plan on staying here?
They get complacent. They get complacent with that government
And
help.
I get it. It's hard out here. I get it. But
I
you got to want better for yourself at some
Exactly.
point. And then you can't complain when you just like come on now, y'all. I don't pay,
And a lot of
you don't pay your
you
rent.
put out.
It's a wrap.
Yeah, and it's
You
a
know
lot
what
of
I mean?
families over there. That's the thing. It's a lot of families, and unfortunately, it's a lot of single mothers, raising, sometimes multiple kids
By
in that
themselves.
situation by themselves. But at the same time, you got to help yourself. You got to want to do better. You know what I'm saying? It's jobs that are hiring out here. Even if you got to go to McDonald's, do what you got to do.
Handle
You
your
understand what I'm
business.
saying? There's no excuse for accepting those conditions. You understand what I'm saying? So that's a choice.
So I
at
get
the
that
end of the day.
side. So I'm sorry not to cut you off. So I get that side of it. But what about them not leasing units even though they were legally obligated to do so? I think I
that's
read
wrong.
where there's
That's wrong.
3,400 families that were on a waiting list to lease a unit.
Yeah,
So
the
what do you
waiting
all
list
think
for
about
these
project.
housing
Ridiculous.
projects be in the low income housing in general is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Like the fact that they have to wait years to even be seen to potentially live somewhere. Like I don't understand it. Like I don't know. I don't understand the process as far as why it takes so long.
See, this is what I was thinking. Now, I had, they have said the CEO, I think his name is Damon Duncan of RRHA,
Okay.
stated that there was no correlation between the evictions and the redevelopment. But this is what I was thinking, okay?
I don't know about
If
that.
their deadline is by 2020, okay?
They gotta kick people out.
Rightfully, they will place those who are caught up with their rent, they will place them in another housing project or whatever. But those who have not paid rent, evict them. And then with these, I think how many empty, they hadn't signed a lease since June of 2019.
Right.
So ideally you would think, okay, those paying their rent, we're going to place them, but those not, yes, we're going to put them out and we're not going to sign any more leases because we have a deadline to redevelop by 2020.
Right.
That's I put all those pieces together. I don't know because no one said anything about any type of construction going on. So I don't know if it's just their goal to like, okay, eviction's cool. We're not signing no more leases. Those who still up to date, we will place them somewhere. But eventually these are all going to be empty. That's what I was thinking. But I hadn't read anything.
That's
that
why
really
we just got to
stated that.
do better as people, man. Like no one just loves getting up every damn morning to go to work, but you got to do that.
no.
And me, I'm like,
Especially when you have mouths.
Well, not
Yeah,
everybody
we-
in the
we-
housing projects, is not working.
Right.
yeah, but
a
I'm
lot of
saying
them
like,
get up and go to work.
yeah,
Mhm.
and when you have children, that should make you go harder. Like, don't get complacent in your living situation. Like, okay, if I'm in the projects, I don't want to stay in the projects. I don't want this to be all my kids know. Like,
Mhm.
your kids should give you that extra oomph to, look, if I got to work 2-3 jobs, we're going to get the hell up out of here. Because it's still, these people control you, man. Like,
Mhm.
when they're tired of, you can't pay your rent, or when they're done with you, they're going to kick your ass to the curb because we're going to redevelop this and gentrify it. You know what I'm saying? Make it real nice and have some other people that can afford it, this price that we're going to put on it.
Yep.
And to hell with you. Like you can't get complacent. Like understand if you having hard times or whatever, and that's what you have to do. Do what you got to do, but don't stay there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they got that property too, right where Armstrong used to be at.
Mhm.
Where they told her it's like a new. I don't know what
have
it's
y'all
gonna be.
seen those townhouses?
It's nice. It's some townhouse.
They're gorgeous.
They're nice, but like,
actually.
what are
I'm not
their
gonna
intentions
lie.
with that? That's what I want to know.
Some of them are for sale and some of them are for lease, and it is mixed. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Shoot, when I was moving from that apartment 2017. I
You
was
was
looking
looking
over there.
at-
I sure did. And the things that I saw, it was a mixed couple. I don't even want to say this. They might still be living over there. They might catch the show or something.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
anyway, what I saw, I was like, wow. Like I knew what was going on. I knew.
Yeah.
And here I am, like, shoot, I'm gonna try to ease my way in there
Up in
too,
that
see
joint,
what I can
right.
get, But they were nice.
Right.
They were really nice.
It's
I don't know what they're looking like now,
Yeah.
but that was 2017. Yeah.
Well, I did read that they said that they do want a mixed income neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
I'm still getting used to this gentrification thing. I mean, it's
Mhm.
weird when I ride through there just
It
to
is
see,
very weird.
you know what I'm saying, the
Yeah,
different
everything looking
faces.
a lot
and-
different.
man.
Cause you just, you born in the city and raised, and a lot of my
Mhm.
family come from the East End, so it's like, it's just it tripped me out. But
Mhm.
like I said, it's a lot of growth, a lot of potential.
Mhm.
Even Lower Hall Street is building up, so it's
Oh,
like
man, yeah, it's crazy.
I'm all for it, like I said, but I'm just not for, completely moving out. People that's been there for years, like as far as more so like the older folk
because
and
it's
things
still a
like
community.
that. It's still a
Yeah.
community,
It is
you know
still
what I'm
a
saying?
community.
But yeah, we're gonna keep our eyes on that story and see what happens, man. So Suge Knight. I be scared to talk about him.
Yeah, we
I
might
mean, I know he locked
We
up.
might
but
want to make this quick and brief.
He one of them dudes, like, you know what I'm saying?
Come
You feel like,
back
I'm like,
for
is he
you,
here?
bro.
Is he gonna pop up? Because everywhere he goes, somebody dying or somebody getting beat up. But
Just don't run me over.
If you don't want
Apparently-
to on the stage dancing,
dancing, come to death row.
That's
Ray J, they say Ray J apparently has his life rights, but I think since then it's been an update to that story. He don't have the life rights.
no,
right?
he does not have
Okay.
the life rights. His wife has
I was
the
like,
life
Ray
I was
rights.
ready to say Ray J.
Like, Brandy's brother?
Shit.
Like, why would he have the life
Leave him
rights? But
alone.
so what does he have? He has music rights.
Yes. So the article that I read said that he has rights to a lot of Suge Knight's music and
The Death Row catalog,
The Death
bro.
Row
So
catalog.
it's gonna be like a new Death
specifically.
Row, like the new row.
not.
I thought he sold that joint.
That's what I thought. I thought it was like an odd company
Yeah.
or somebody had ownership over that junk. Cause Suge got years. Like he got
28.
football numbers.
Yeah.
So
Peterson.
yeah, like he ain't coming out no time soon. So I can talk my shit. Nah, just playing.
All right.
But, oh,
Yeah, all right.
nah, I'm
All right.
scared. Nah, fuck that
All right,
shit.
Martin.
Hey,
Mad
nah.
Dog.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Man, though.
There don't go.
But I'm curious to see. I think Ray J has the potential of. I mean, Ray J. Let's all jokes aside. Ray J is a very smart businessman.
And that's
Yeah.
what
You
Suge
might not be a
said.
fan of his music and all that,
Yeah,
but
smart.
Ray J had a couple of hits. He has some semi hits, but for what he's been able to do from a business standpoint in the recent years, gotta give it up to that man.
Yeah.
Gotta applaud. He got what's the joint he got?
The Raycon joints?
Raycon. He got
Ray-
bikes
Ray-
and
He had
scooty
Ray-
bikes.
Ray-
Scooty bikes.
Ray-
He
Scooty
got
bikes. Everybody was laughing, but everybody was buying it.
Hey,
Yeah.
exactly.
He got the glasses. Which you,
Oh yeah, it
Yeah,
was
right.
hard.
He got
the joints.
And he
got
got
the hat and some
watches.
shit.
He got smart watches.
He
Yo.
does. I do.
Yeah.
remember that.
He's with that tech stuff. Like
Yeah.
What is the
And
name?
that's
It's
big money.
Raytonics. What is it?
yeah, the
Raytonics.
Raytonics.
Yeah,
Raytonics.
Raytonics.
Okay, I'll make sure I'm saying
Raycon.
it right. Okay.
I got a pair. They all right.
Radio.
What?
He got
The,
everything.
The
the
Raycons.
glasses?
Hell no.
Wait, I'm lost, bro. The what?
The damn,
The
the
hip-
headphones.
yes, headphones.
Oh, the
Yes,
headphones.
yeah.
Okay.
And you know
They
he
alright.
he be behind the Love and Hip Hop the Hollywood. He's like
Yeah.
executive producer on that, so
Producer
he
or
getting the
something.
TV money. Yo, Ray
He-
J,
he's
yo,
smart.
He
He's
is
smart.
He's another Nick Cannon.
on the
me.
low, like
On the low.
agree.
He's
on
another
the
Nick.
low,
Yeah.
like,
on the low.
He got a little bit ways to go, but that was what I found cool about Suge Knight. He's recruited Nick Cannon to write his book because he sees him as
Oh.
being a great author.
okay.
I want to see that. I
That'll be-
really want to see
The,
that.
the Suge Knight story is very interesting, and like I said, for you younger folk who might not be familiar with Suge Knight. Suge Knight was the CEO of Death Row Records, and if you follow hip hop, Death Row was the ish
Exactly.
in the 90s. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, and this pre Bad Boy. This pre Bad Boy. He was the first major black CEO in the hip hop world that was really like before Puff. Puff came like a year later or something like that. But Suge Knight co-owned Death Row with Dr. Dre. They founded Death Row, but Dr. Dre was an artist. Snoop Dogg, of course. The Dogg Pound. Warren G wasn't signed, but he was affiliated. Nate Dogg. Then you know who came later? Tupac Shakur. You know what I'm saying? Then after Pac came, it was like they was on top.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, arguably some people could say Bad Boy. They had Biggie and everything, but those two labels in the 90s, like that's where you wanted to be. So like a lot of people don't give shit.
Death Row.
You had a big three. You had Dre, Pac, and Snoop.
Right. That was the tree. That was the whole Trinity right there.
Can't beat that.
So a lot of people don't give Suge his credit as a businessman. Yeah, his tactics was messed up. He was
Him
going
as a person, yeah.
He was going to intimidate you. But from a business standpoint,
he was on what chain?
Right. From a success standpoint, Death Row was definitely one of those premier labels. They had a run for sure. So
definitely.
I'm definitely interested in this story. I would definitely watch a Suge Knight biopic.
Oh yeah.
They got to get
for
dude
sure.
to play him though. Dude that was in the Tupac movie.
Yes.
Yeah, he looked.
He
just like
did
that.
real good. Like
yeah.
I can't really see
Resemblance
nobody
and
else playing
everything.
Suge Knight. Like
He killed that.
But yeah, hopefully Ray J and Nick Cannon handle Suge Knight's those rights and his responsibility. Handle that responsibility well because Suge Knight can't really do much for himself. But big up to that brother. Don't drop the soap.
Oh,
Man.
All right.
I ain't scared of Suge.
Peace be friends.
Not now, because I know where he at.
Because he all the way over there.
I don't want no
He ain't
problem.
coming to get me.
I don't want no problem, shit.
Peace,
We
my
good.
brother.
We good.
So
Keep your head up.
I ain't got no
Keep your head
stake in
up,
this.
so y'all stupid. Kanye finally dropped Jesus is King. It came out. It was supposed to come out midnight. Look, I know
He found it.
we gonna go right to
We
you
will
too.
go straight to
He found
done.
it.
I knew it was supposed to come out at midnight, but originally it was slated for a
He was
September
at Brad.
release.
He
It was
was
supposed to be
at him.
September 27th. He pushed it back to October 25th. But it didn't come out at midnight like
Of
it was
course.
supposed to. I know I was one of those people that was up looking for it, and I'm like, bro, I'm going to
Nope.
sleep. 'cause
I got a good ass.
It's
sleep.
not coming out.
I
I
knew
got
it won't coming out.
So it did end up coming out at some point
It was at noon,
today.
right?
I think it was noon or
It was like a little afternoon.
But
Yeah.
Doug, what's your take on it, man? We gotta talk. What's
I got an interesting take on it, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I ain't listen to the joint. I ain't listen to the joint.
you still so he's still canceled.
I don't plan on listening to the joint.
He in the way, bro.
He's still canceled.
See, that's the thing. Like Kanye, like he has these like moments where he does something and then he switches up. Like just 6 months ago, maybe he had a red MAGA hat on. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I mean, he may have been going through stuff. I mean, people change, people grow, evolve. I'm all for that. But I just want to see that, like, what he's doing now, if he's able to sustain that, then I know it's real. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think it's genuine.
You think it's a publicity stunt?
Yeah,
That
or like he's just trying to grab a certain audience or like people that he knows he can control.
Mm.
And then, push his message out there to those people.
Vote
You
for
know what I'm
Trump.
saying? Yeah, like shit like that. So it's like,
2020.
I'm not sold yet. I mean, if he can sustain that over, a certain amount of time, maybe a year or 2 years, and I see that he's really for real about it, all right, cool, I'll buy into it. I'll start checking it out. But right now, nah.
Okay. Did anyone listen to it like me?
I
did.
listened to it.
Mhm.
Okay.
I
I
did.
couldn't resist. I had to listen.
I didn't have to
did
listen,
too.
but
I
I
had
did
to, 'cause I just
because we
wanted
were
to hear
talking
what it was
about
coming
Out of
from.
curiosity, I had to.
So what it sound like?
It's definitely at the time I describe it. It's something you can cook to. It's a nice listen. Yeah, you cook too. I can see myself in the kitchen.
In the kitchen, just
Cooking.
because you can just. I mean,
It's an easy listen.
Yeah, it
Okay.
is. It's like it's not many tracks.
about
What is it?
30 minutes.
11.
Yeah, it's
11
about
tracks.
30
Very
minutes total
quick.
time. It's
Very
very
quick.
quick.
And I want to say this.
No curses.
It
is a gospel
no
album,
curses,
so
you
no
play it around the
curses.
kids.
I know a lot of people, they had a debate about, like, because it was listed as hip hop, like as a hip hop album.
Right.
So
Right.
they was it was a controversy. Like, why isn't it a gospel album?
I think it should be listed as a gospel album because of the content. This is not a hip hop album. If you're going in there as a hip hop fan looking for previous Kanye West catalog,
It should go under
you're not
gospel
gonna
or
get it.
Christian rap.
It should go under gospel, Christian rap to me.
So he's talking about like Jesus and stuff.
Jesus,
Absolutely.
Jesus is king.
Blank. Mhm.
Like Lecrae could have been on this album.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm
Shout
saying?
out
He
to
got Freddie
Lecrae.
Hammond on this album, one of my favorite gospel artists.
It's on Kanye.
Yep.
Mhm.
The Clips reunited on this album.
Yeah.
That's big.
That
That's
was pretty
major.
dope.
Stand Up
But-
VA.
And like,
But okay, from sonically, okay, it's good. Sonically, it's really good. But like I said, if you're going in it thinking Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, College Dropout, even Life of Pablo, you're not getting that. Like, it's very quick, easy listen, and from the instrumentation standpoint, it's not as musical as you expect from previous Kanye work. Lyrics, you know what I'm saying? Because it is a couple of joints he's rapping on, but he's not really. I don't know. It's not the best lyrically, but I love the message. I love the message. And I'm going to give him a chance because I watched the Big Boy interview he did. Big Boy. He did the interview with him. I didn't watch the Zane Lowe interview, but from the Big Boy interview, while Kanye doesn't answer questions directly.
Never.
He's all
ever.
over the place.
Never just answers
But
the
what I
question.
was able to take from the interview, I think I took that he's tired of pleasing people. He is tired of pleasing people, and he kept repeatedly saying, "It's about God. It's about Jesus." He even went as far as to say, if you come to his live show, Sunday service, whatever, and you expect to hear niggas in Paris, all of the lights, you're not gonna get that.
Shit. Yeah.
So do you trust this Kanye? Because Mace did the same shit, right?
Yeah, Mace did go back and forth.
And Kanye just be like how Doug was saying. Kanye be doing too much. Like,
Kanye-
he do too much flip flopping. So
That's
it's
what
like,
I'm saying.
bro, I don't trust you. So maybe next year, if you got the same energy next year, maybe I'll listen. But
he's
right
definitely
now,
gonna have to be
bro.
consistent.
He has
in
to be
order for
consistent
people to take
because-
him seriously. But hold on now, let's not forget Snoop dropped a gospel album.
But Snoop, nah,
Yeah,
that
but
don't stay
Snoop
in
and
the hip hop
Snoop
genre.
ain't endorsing the
Yeah,
type
but
of
Snoop
shit
don't have that
Kanye
negative
endorsing,
stigma
though.
either. When it comes to, like I said, Kanye's been through a lot, and I'm not, trying to take up for the man. I'm trying to understand. He's been through a lot. I think his troubles really started when his mom passed. From then, you could kind of see him spiraling out of control slowly, but in recent years, it's gotten out of control.
Definitely.
And especially within the last year, with him, like I said, standing next to Trump and just certain things he say out of his mouth, slavery was a choice. Like, and he said it himself, I've been canceled before. I was canceled before it was even a
Cancel
thing,
term.
But I think what's really gonna get people to believe once again is the consistency. If he's able to remain consistent and say, hey, you're a gospel artist now, okay, stick with it.
Yeah.
Stick with the message that you're pushing, brother, because we all for that. Everybody love Jesus. Everybody that I know.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I don't really, while all the music might not be to my liking, I can applaud the message. And, don't be a hypocrite. Don't be that person that I really would hate to think that he's using using the Lord's name in vain or trying to, gain some points by doing pushing the gospel. But I don't think that's the case. I really think that he somewhere along the lines something happened, something transformed. He's seen the bigger picture, and he was like, you know what, this is the calling on my life. I'm gonna follow this.
Yeah.
And I'm still Kanye West, but I have a new mission now to carry out. And that's why we start seeing the Sunday services. Because I'm not gonna lie, I didn't understand it at first. I didn't know where it was coming from. I'm like, okay, I like the Sunday service, but what is he doing? Is this gonna lead to an album? Like, I didn't understand. I didn't know, but once they announced he was doing the album, I was like, okay. But still, I was kind of like, where's this going? You know what I'm saying? But listening to the music, I was definitely impressed. And like I said, I love the message of what he's pushing out. He even said that he got another album coming out.
Yeah, he
like
said
December,
Christmas
Christmas.
joint coming out.
Another gospel.
It's
Another
like
gospel
Jesus is
joint.
born. Or
Jesus
something he
is
said.
born.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So, like I
see,
said,
man.
We'll see.
he gonna have to.
I'm all for people growing
Nah,
and changing
not at
and
all.
evolving, but
We'll see.
we gonna see.
Elections is November 2020. We'll
Yeah,
see.
We
if
gonna
we'll
see.
have the same
That's how I
energy.
feel about it. We gonna see.
We'll see.
Yeah,
We gonna see if it's genuine or not.
Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna see. But like I said, shout out to Mr. West. We're gonna get some claps for him because like I said, he's trying. He's trying.
Amber Alert.
Amber Alert. Okay.
I'm sure everyone's getting it right now.
Yeah.
Okay. We can talk about it. Lord, I hope they find that baby.
Yeah. Kendrick. Shout out to Kendrick Lamar. He's been real quiet, but he's normally quiet.
Did they have a baby yet?
I don't know. I think he
don't know.
did. I think he did.
Not
I'm
now,
not sure
that
though.
baby is been
Kendrick
born.
is real private, so you
Mhm.
don't really see too much about him in the news, and I like that because I like that mystique. Sometimes you got to keep that.
Mhm.
Good Kid, Mad City just had like a 7-year
Yeah, 7th year anniversary.
anniversary the other
Classic.
day.
Classic.
Class.
That goes without saying. Everybody know that's a classic album.
Right.
Arguably, I say like everything in his catalog is classic, but we're gonna bring that up now. We're gonna debate
Let's
Kendrick
have a little
Lamar's
fun.
catalog, going from Section 80 to Damn, which was his last body of work, 2017. So we got Section 80, 2011. We got Good Kid, Mad City, 2012, 2013, around that time. We got To Pimp a Butterfly, which was like 2015, and then we got Damn, 2017.
Those are the four that we're gonna
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, because
We're basing off
I
of
think the
Untitled
Untitled joint that was
yeah.
kind of like an extension of
yeah.
To Pimp a
and then,
Butterfly. So
the Black Panther one.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's not his
yeah,
album.
that's
That's a
right.
soundtrack.
That's a soundtrack.
Yeah.
TDE joint.
Right.
So if we talking about those four, Section 80, Good Kid, Mad City, To Pimp a Butterfly, Damn.
Damn.
What's number one?
Good Kid,
Good
Mad
Kid, Mad
City.
City.
Yeah, of course. All right, so
Yeah.
we all agree on that.
Yeah, Good Kid, Mad City is
Kid,
number
Mad
one.
City.
Two.
Section 80.
To Pimp a Butterfly.
To Pimp a
No.
Butterfly.
Yeah.
To Pimp a Butterfly.
Yeah.
Section
What
80.
you talking about?
Yeah, to Pimp a
I'm
Butterfly.
curious. Section 80. Give me why you say Section 80.
I love Section 80. That's his EP, considered an EP. So it's only,
Yeah.
it's a short project.
Was it an
And-
EP? I thought it was an album.
I think it's classified
Yeah.
as an
It was an EP? Okay.
on
It-
Apple Music. I mean, I love To Pimp a Butterfly too. All four of them are my favorite, out of all of his work. But
Section 80 was like that. That's when you first got on him?
Section
Mhm.
80 is the start for me.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I put that before To Pimp a Butterfly. But I love
To Pimp a Butterfly,
too.
man.
That thing got a place in my heart.
When I first heard that
Chico
joint,
Block.
I was living where was I living at? So you know how music always take you back.
Oh yeah,
To a certain time and
you
place.
think about it.
I was living shout out to Max. Shout out to my boy Max. We was living together, and I remember when that album came out, and he would tell you I played that shit over and over and over. Like I was just obsessed with it. Like I was like, yo, this shit is the hardest. Like I couldn't understand how he was able to top or make an album that was just as good.
Good Kid,
But most of the
Mad
time, the
City.
second album, you be like, yeah, he done fell off a little bit. Like it's hard to top that first initial joint when it's the a mega smash like that. He did it. Like he came with something that was just as good.
And the message into Pimp a Butterfly.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I thought when you said you listened to it over and over, you had to be like me, like, I fucked with it when I first heard it. But
Yeah.
I had to listen to get the grasp
Oh,
the
that too.
message a little bit.
That too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Everything didn't come to me right away.
Dropped
Yeah,
it.
it really didn't. Like, yeah, it really did.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't like it initially, but
And I think that was behind the sound.
I think
it
they was
a-
expecting more like a Good Kid, Mad City type of album, but
right.
this was completely different,
Different.
and it was needed. And yeah, that's a classic in my
Yeah.
eyes.
So then we all agree that Damn is last.
No,
So what comes after To
I
Pimp
like
a Butterfly
Damn.
for y'all?
damn.
We
Damn.
said
Yeah.
that'd be
Hold on,
I
wait,
think
wait.
Section 80 is last to me.
Like if I had to pick one Kendrick album to go, Section 80 is that album.
Yeah.
Just because I mean it's
Really?
good.
Y'all,
It's
I
it's a great
then
album.
Which one would you give? Oh, you would
y'all.
give it a Damn.
you really did.
Yeah.
Did y'all really? I mean,
Section 80 is a
You-
great album, but it's like it's not as polished as the other three, in my opinion.
But I
Wait.
think that's what I love about it so much.
Damn won a Pulitzer
I'm
Prize
not-
Award.
Section 80 stayed.
it
Yeah.
won a what prize?
Pulitzer Prize Award.
I mean, I love Damn
Like
too,
for music,
but
that's not.
Yeah, don't get me.
regular.
Nah, I can't even say I love Damn. I mean, his
You don't
whole
love Damn?
tone of mute, his whole tone
Did you get
and
it?
cadence changed. Like,
Really?
I
yeah,
love
to
Damn.
me, it.
I don't know. They
yeah.
all
I
say
don't know.
I don't know
I
about
stand
change.
by my
Mhm.
thoughts that Untitled Unmastered is the only one that I'm Xing out.
I think
I can rank them.
yeah,
I would put Damn at the bottom.
Dan
tough.
was it was a good mesh of Good Kid and To Pimp a Butterfly. He kind of like meshed the two together because he still had the commercial hits with Loyalty, Humble, but like you got tracks on the album like Feel, what's the other joint? Duckworth.
I fuck with that.
Like he gave you a good balance
Fuck with that track.
of
And the fact, but he came out with a collector's edition, but had the tracks in like from
reverse.
the end was at
Yeah,
the beginning,
reverse.
beginning, end,
Right,
and that
right.
shit still flowed like a complete album. Like
Right. Yeah, it was
who
hard.
does that?
Can't,
Like,
a
that
lot
shit
of people
crazy.
can't do that.
That shit crazy.
It was
lot of
very
people can't do that.
creative, I will say, but I don't know. When I heard Damn, I was expecting a little bit more from him. But that's just me.
I don't know. Can he top it? I don't know if he's working on new music now, but whatever he comes with next, what are we looking for? Has he done his best work?
Nah.
No,
'Cause it's
I
still
mean,
stuff-
I don't
it's-
know.
Go ahead.
Y'all don't think he could eat forever on Good Kid,
He
Man
absolutely
City?
Yo,
can
he
eat
can,
forever.
'cause
It's a
that
bit
shit-
of
that
fun,
shit is a
like,
classic.
he could.
Definitely.
Yeah, if Kendrick was actually done right now, I'd be satisfied. I think I would.
Nah, I
need at least
I
one
think
more.
it-
I
One
need
more
at least one
album.
more. At least
One
one
more.
more.
One more.
Give me one more.
Just one more?
At least.
Give me
At
like two. I
least.
need two.
At
'Cause-
least
Two
one
more?
more.
Before he actually
I
stops,
need
or
a-
you mean just like
yeah, I could. He could give me two more albums and I'm good. And one of those albums, I want to be a collab with him and Cole.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
we've been
know.
waiting on that for
Like,
years.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I don't
Yeah.
even know what's
Oh,
going to
yeah.
happen anymore.
Listen, man.
Yeah, I think
I want a
Cole's
Cole
done.
and Kendrick
He's
collab
done.
album, and I want one more Kendrick album. After that, I'm good. I'm
What?
good. He ain't got to do another motherfucking thing.
Listen, that catalog, man.
Yeah, man.
So the Cole and Kendrick, y'all don't really see that happening at this
Cole
point.
Fans
done
are just
with
saying
At
it
this
for a
point,
while.
yeah,
he
but
said he's done.
he's
done.
with
Yeah,
it.
he said it, but I mean,
No,
I don't
But
think
Cole has never not kept his word.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah,
on, think
that is
about
true.
it. He
He
I
likes
love
mine
J. Cole.
solo.
I really
J.
do.
Cole's
I
my
love
guy.
J. Cole. Shout
Shout
out
out to
to
Cole.
you, Jermaine.
shout out to Cole.
Much love.
Definitely
Much
looking
love.
towards some new music from him too. Dude, D Smoke, he won.
I didn't even watch the episode. I
Spoiler
was so
alert.
mad they put
Spoiler
it out.
alert.
I'm sorry.
No,
Spoiler alert.
I did.
I
All
did.
of them did. I was so
Right.
mad. I
Oh,
wanted
whoever's-
to watch
Because I was
it.
scrolling on my phone. I
Whoever's
said,
tuning in
"Damn."
should have
They
watched
just
by
told
now.
it.
Come
I
on,
ain't
now.
gonna lie, Ivan, you definitely ruined it. For me. I seen your story,
Yeah.
and I was
Listen.
mad I
They
seen your
won't-
story
yeah,
because
they
you
shouldn't
ruined
But
it.
I'm
for me.
glad that
Hey,
But if anybody was gonna win it,
you know what
shout out to D
you ruined it for
That's
me
what
because
I
I think
just
you
said.
posted it on.
Before we
It was
even
you. It was you.
Yup.
I was excited. Okay,
Oh,
I like the show.
I'm still gonna watch.
It's dope, but
That was my.
I had to
favorite
get it out.
again.
Okay, he was my number one choice. I'm glad he won, and he should be signed to TDE. Goddamn
But
it.
did y'all know he's Sir brother?
Say
Huh?
what?
You know Sir?
He's
TDE?
Sir's
Oh.
brother.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
did
I
not know
said.
that.
He should be
He's Surge.
Oh, yeah.
Sir,
That shit
the
crazy,
singer.
bro.
Yeah,
This,
Singer.
yeah.
that's his little brother.
Got the
Well-
song with Kendrick.
Is it
That
only
shit-
right?
So that's why I
that-
say it's only right.
Easy.
He might as
How?
well be.
I did not
Easy.
know that.
That shit crazy.
But yeah, that show was. I hope. I mean, I'm season 2. I'm tuned in. Like they got a fan now because the way they did that show was dope.
Mm-hmm.
Cardi got on my nerves a little bit, but overall,
We love
the show
you,
is
Cardi.
dope.
Do you think they're gonna keep them
Oh,
as
yeah,
the
they mesh
the
well
main
together.
judges?
I think
Okay.
so. I think so. But I'm from a talent standpoint, and just the way they was able to put them through the different scenarios. Like I thought the show was dope. It's innovative, and it's a good outlet for people that want to get on. So, hey, what I'm saying, shout outs to them. But yeah, man, I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up. Before we get out of here, let's shout out to our studio and our sponsor, Roar Audio. Shout out to them. Shout out to our, our team behind the scenes, DJ and Ross.
Make sure y'all check out our first episode of The Panel, our interview episode. We had a local artist, PT Vale. So
PT
make sure
Vale,
y'all be on the
PT
lookout
Vale
for
theme
that.
song for us.
Yep.
He was our
Right,
first
right.
guest, so definitely check that out.
Salute.
And hey, until next time, I'm your boy IV.
It's your girl Crown Vic.
Just Doug.
Love Jamie.
Be care.
And we are the top.
Top.
In a minute.
Say what's on your mind, put it all in line. Your own perspective, living legends all in one room. It be so effortless, build it up like it's Tetris. Come with knowledge, so let us in. We doing it straight from the soul. That's how we feeling it, killing in every category. This would be the testimony. A lot of truth with just as many opinions. So prolific a vision, you won't forget it. We over top of the gimmicks, the side of something new. This for our city ain't stopping until we reach our pinnacle. We got a lot to do, been breaking through. You know what we on. All gas, no brakes, what it takes. Let's set the stage to be great. This is the top for the day. You will see nothing better. Beginning of something special. We reaching another level. We pushing forward together. Everybody got ambitions, you know. We on the rise with the top, yeah, you know. Yeah, you know. I said what? Everybody got ambitions, you know. We on the rise with the top, yeah, you know. Yeah, you know. Yeah, you know. Everybody got ambitions, you know. We on the rise with the top, yeah, you know. And you know. And say what? Everybody got ambitions, you know. We on the rise with the top, yeah, you know. Yeah, you know. Truly opinionated.